Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
There's a powerful story being shared at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. Unchi Said So. A solo exhibition by Danielle Seawalker brings forward Native stories shaped by collective identity, generational knowledge, and teachings passed down through community. Through bold color and portraiture, this work honors the significance of grandmothers in Native culture while reflecting the idea that sovereignty begins at home. On view now through June 6th. Plan your visit today at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 35, then Thursday, sunshine with a high of 53. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul, from award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, we have our friend Ruth Anna Buffalo of Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center coming up. I have a quick update from Wendy Pilot on the Riglin farm with all the beagles, and that'll be coming up the second segment, and Dr. Statley, and then Natalie with the Minneapolis Indian Center with a update. Let's bring our friend Ruth Anna on. And Ruth Anna, thank you so much for coming on. As always, it's exciting. It's about to be Indian Month here, and I know a lot of festivities are happening at Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Yes. Lots of things going on. Dosha, hello, and Madzigadats, thanks for having us.
Yeah. So let's talk about a possibility, and I don't know if it's this month sometime. We're going to have a cakewalk happening, and I just want to get the updates of what's happening with Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
Sure. Yep. Thank you. We for sure have a cakewalk planned for our our open house that will be May 21st on a Thursday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at 2300 15th Avenue South in the gym or community room. It's going to be a lot of surprises, but we will have a cakewalk for sure.
Yeah, excellent. Hey, so what else is going on? We have Indian Month going on, and I know Friday is the big reveal. And I know last time we talked, we didn't really tell me what the float was going to be, but I guess I can wait a couple days.
Yeah, it's in the works, and staff are working on it as we speak. So it'll be fun and very creative, and looking forward to seeing our team hopefully place in the top three, if not take the traveling trophy.
You're former champion, and nobody can take that away from you. So that's a good thing. You'll always be a former champion, and maybe be champion again. So we have a big parade happening on Friday, May 1st, and that's always exciting. That's starting at 10. And then later on, there's going to be a powwow at Minneapolis American Indian Center. So I'm really excited. What else is going on with the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center?
We have our tenant units upstairs, top 2 floors are at capacity, 24 tenant units. 20 of the units must go through Hennepin County's coordinated entry system. And so there's a tenant meeting happening right now. So we're, just breaking bread and getting feedback from the tenants on how best we can support the tenants moving forward. Looking forward to participating in some of the outings with the tenants, whether it's going to the falls or different Wellbriety meetings or the Indian Center, just trying to help provide more support for our tenant units for sure.
Absolutely. And remind our listening audience too, a couple things. One, of all the great events that you have at the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, but also how they can support this legacy group that's been around for a long time.
Sure. Thank you. You can go online to www.miwrc.org. And then there's a number of tabs you can click on, like careers or events, our history, more about who we are. And also you can donate if you're so inclined to. We greatly appreciate it.
Awesome. And people, we have over 20,000 people listening to us on the radio in any given time, but we also are on Facebook and YouTube and all those Blue Sky and X and all that stuff. You have a new shirt now. It looks like a new shirt design and some earrings to go with it. Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Some new merch and also some new earrings that we were able to pick up at the recent spring market that we have. We have quarterly markets, and we also have quarterly feasts. We also have a spring feast coming up on May 15th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we're looking for more ways to partner with the community, whether it's uplifting the youth programming, elder programming, and of course our relatives who are in active addiction or looking to find a new path forward in housing stability or job readiness, workforce development, just trying to support what's already existing and figure out how we can help move things forward.
Yeah, so for people that are first tuning in, how long has Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center been around in the Twin Cities?
Yeah, great question. Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center has been around for 40 plus years. In fact, we just celebrated our 40th anniversary, September 16th of 2024. Not too long ago.
Yeah. Time flies. I had to think too. So you've been here back in the Twin Cities, what, 3 years or 2 years?
Over 2 years, March 4th of 2024.
See, it seems like you've been here longer, but we've had a great radio relationship over the years. You as a former politician out of the Dakotas, and I just really appreciate you being able to come on and really speak your truth, and also with working with Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center, just really keep that ball rolling that's been rolling for 40 years.
Yes, it's a great responsibility and definitely great honor, and good to be back in the Twin Cities area. A little surreal at times, but yeah, my family and I are getting settled in here, and I did work at Division of Indian Work once upon a time ago when I was 20, barely turned 20, worked as a youth worker in the Youth Leadership Development Program, and was looking at Metro State for social work. But yeah, I had a good time here, made a lot of lifelong friends, and good to be back.
Yeah, definitely. It's always great to see you. I don't know why, but always when I see you, because I'm on Franklin Avenue a lot, it's always a surprise. It's like, oh, there's Ruth. Coming out of another meeting.
Right, zipping, heading, off. It's busy. Got invited to play in a golf tournament today out at Mystic at the Meadows, but it was like a Top Golf. I forget what it's called, but
that's new.
It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was fun.
That's new.
Got to get out of the office, but yeah, it was a good networking.
Dang, I gotta get on that guest list that you're on, because I didn't get invited out there. Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, if I didn't see one of the colleagues yesterday that was on site, I probably wouldn't have been able to make it. But it was the MAICC Business and Birdies at Launchpad Golf tournament today, Minnesota American Indian Chamber of Commerce, but it was really fun.
Awesome. Hey, Ruth, Anna, Buffalo, thank you as always for these great updates, and we'll see you soon. We'll see you Monday or Friday at the parade.
Sounds good. See you.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back with our friend Dr. Statley.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovative Minneapolis American Indian Center, Executive Chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
If the statistics say that 1 in 3 Native women and 1 in 6 Native men have experienced sexual assault in their lifetime, it means our whole community is affected by sexual violence. 1 is too many. Don't stand by, stand up. Don't engage in acts of sexual violence, and shut down the dirty jokes, the gossip, the victim blaming and shaming. As a community, we can change the way we respond. Contact the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition to attend a workshop to learn more.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Before we get our friend Dr. Statley on here, I have a 2-minute update here from Wendy I want to play before we get Dr. Statley on, and it's an update. Well, I'll just play it, and everyone will understand what it is. So without any further ado, yes, I do speak French. Without any further ado, let's see if we can get Wendy playing here.
Robert, hey everyone, I have a quick update I'd like to share. I just got this on my Facebook right now. This is from WKOW.com. Dane County, Wisconsin, KOW. Riglin Farms appears to be selling nearly 1,000 of its beagles to a rescue group which seeks to offer them a new life. Big Dog Ranch Rescue and the Center for a Humane Economy said they have reached a confidential agreement with Riglin Farms to take custody of beagles housed at the Dane County facility for an undisclosed payment. More details are expected to be shared during a news conference on Thursday in Madison. Riglin Farms, located in the town of Blue Mounds, has been known as one of the largest beagle breeding facilities in the United States. Nearly 1,000 dogs, the beagles, will be coming to Big Dog Ranch Rescue's care in the near future, according to information on the organization's website. Activists traveled around the country in recent months in an effort to remove beagles from Riglin Farms that they say were being harmed. Activists were arrested in 2 separate incidents, one in March and another in April. I was in there. I was the one in April. Okay, I'm losing my breath. The dogs will be transported by Big Dog Ranch Rescue for medical exams, microchips, and vaccinations. Many of them will be placed with experienced rescue partners across the nation, and the list of rescue partners will be released soon, according to the Big Dog Ranch Rescue. Laura Trump, President Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, is listed as one of the Big Dog Ranch Rescue's director. Laura Lee Simmons is co-founder, CEO, and president of the organization, which is based in Florida. The organization said the beagles will require extensive medical care, rehabilitation, and daily hands-on attention as they begin their journey towards recovery. Those interested in adopting one of the beagles, once they are ready, can fill out an adoption application at Be Like Boy, D like David, rr.org/adopt. So let's see. You know what? A lot of people will disagree with giving money to get the dogs out, but the way I see it, and my personal opinion is, listen, I would pay ransom for someone I loved, and I love these beagles, and I think that it's okay to pay for them. So Laura Trump. I read an article a while back that she was offering $1 million. So that kind of makes sense if she's still doing that, $1 million and 1,000 dogs. Each of the dogs are worth about $1,000. So that brings it up to the 1 million mark. We need to get them all out, though. There's over 2,000 there. Okay, let's stay in touch and keep up to date on this progress, but I'm really happy. I'm sorry about my shortness of breath, but I ran down the stairs to do this. Anyway, thank you.
Well, hey, thanks, Wendy, for that update. I know people have been supporting Wendy's journey on this and supporting her in a big way. So that's the update that just came in roughly a half hour ago. Hey, let's bring our friend Dr. Statley on. And Dr. Statley is the CEO of Native American Community Clinic here in Minneapolis in the Twin Cities. And welcome, Dr. Statley. Wow, I was on Franklin Avenue today, and the clinic is looking great.
I know. It's got a lot of the facade is out. And the external part of it, it's actually looking like a building, not just a bunch of pylons and other things. So it's exciting. Really
Definitely.
Exciting.
So one of the things that is interesting to me about you is weren't you at 17 years old the editor of the Circle magazine? Do I remember that right?
Yeah, I was. Well, I started first as an intern, so I was in my second year of school at McAllister College, which is where I was getting a bachelor's with majoring in English and getting a minor in journalism.
Wow.
And so in that second year of my year at McAllister, I got a internship at the Circle for part of that education. And then I was, I think it was probably, I was there for about 6 months, and then the existing editor, she left. And then I took over as editor after she left. And I was around 17, 18 years old.
So was that 1980? Because I think that's
Yeah.
when you were about 7,
Yeah.
because that's when the magazine came out.
Yeah, in 80. So like before, it did, like back then the Circle newspaper looked like a newspaper, more like a newspaper, or it transformed into a newspaper style sort of thing. It was a newsletter before that. When I first got there, it was more, and then the year that I and Sandy King were there, Sandy was the editor for a while, and I was an intern, and and then when she left, can't remember exactly. I mean, there was like it was a really long time ago. So like I'm 60 some years old now. So like, it was like at least a good 40 years ago, not longer. And I think one of the things that was challenging for me in that situation was they were like, they needed to have, they couldn't find somebody to be the editor right away. But I had been like, studying for 2 years already at that point in time. And, I had the whole process of putting the paper together. And I had a really great person by my side who was like our assistant. She's no longer with us. Her name is Teresa. And then I also, oddly enough, this is how strange things are sometimes in your life. So my current number 2, Greg Harrison, his partner Adam, Adam Fairbanks, his aunt was also worked with me at the Circle during that same period of time. So it's kind of funny. Like we get to share stories. It's kind of funny now. But like we were all young, but it was it's a different newspaper now. It actually looks like a newspaper, right? And one of the things I did, I remember this was a really clear memory I had. I worked with there was a guy that ran a newspaper in Lac du Flambeau. I can't remember his name either, but he was a really he was part of this national Native journalism program, and we had ran into each other, and he recruited me to be a part of the association, or that journalism association. And I got to go to a conference in Spokane, and I met a lot of other journalists that were Native working in other it was kind of like it was a really cool part of my early adulthood. I got to go hang out with these other people who were doing some really interesting things. And I learned a lot in that process, and I came back to the from that conference, and I started having conversations with the executive director of the Indian Center at that time, who I think her name was Mary Beth something. And she and I had differences in the way that we saw the functioning of the Circle newspaper. At the time, I was sort of like managing it as an editor. It functioned as primarily a promotional sort of like thing for the work that the Indian Center was doing, and and it had some community engagement and community involvement, things like that. I wanted to turn it into a newspaper, not just have it be a newsletter for the Indian Center. And we had some challenges in those conversations, her and I, and I threatened to leave if she didn't do it. And then finally, and then I went before the board, and the board, my mom was on the board at the time. So she wasn't able to vote on that initiative, but she did support me in that initiative. And she's, so I was talking about the importance of independent journalism and how important that was in our community at that point in time. And then right after that, my mom was like, hey, I want you to be the campaign manager for Karen Clark. She's running for representative in this district, and she needs the American Indian vote to do that. And since you run the newspaper, you can do. And I said, well, and then I had this argument with my mom. I was like, well, I can't, I have to be independent. The newspaper, little did I know the benefits of being like a more Trumpian administration. Way back then I could have, said, sure, give me money and I'll do whatever you want. But it was an interesting time in my life because I learned a lot in the process. And I was her campaign manager, and she won the seat that year. She won with the Native American vote.
Well, you definitely should have a book. The circle hasn't been in circulation since February, and there's big news coming Monday. It's being taken over by somebody that hopefully knows what they're doing, and we'll talk more about that some other time. But hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and up next we're going to have Dr. Statley talk more about his past, I guess. We'll be right back. Just the good parts of your past. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Did you know that the Walker has a cinema that shows film almost every week? From artist talks, genre-defined performances, and world premieres to archival shorts and experimental soundscapes, the Walker Cinema explores all modes of global and local filmmaking. Get your first tickets for free. Visit walkerart.org/cinema to learn more. That's walkerart.org/cinema. See you at the movies.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
This is Chase Iron Eyes announcing a new show on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, powered by Native Roots Radio. The show is called Native American Patriot Talk Radio. What will we do on the show? We are going to explore and dive into the source of American constitutional sovereignty, the intersection of Native American and legal issues. Find us the first and third Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. on AM 950.
Support comes from the Walker Arts Center. Local artist Rosie Simas, Seneca Nation of Indians, Huron Clan, embodies Onondaga philosophies of peacemaking and relationality in new immersive installation. Visit Agajengwa, Destiny Gowe Weni. I hope it'll stir your mind and explore a space built for communal rest and contemplation. Simas presents a performance of the same name this May. Learn more about the exhibition and performance at walkerart.org.
We are your relatives.
We are your relations.
Brothers,
sisters,
sons,
daughters. And some of us are your grandchildren.
We are your community. Historically, we held places of honor and respect. Because of the impact of colonization, some of us are rejected, thrown out from family, friends, and community, set up as targets for sexual violence, sex trafficked, humiliated, tortured, and murdered. Everybody has the right to be safe. We are your relatives. Remember,
homophobia is not traditional.
Sponsored by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, it's Robert Pilot from Native Roots Radio. For a meal that feeds your soul and health, check out Gatherings Cafe. Located in the renovated Minneapolis American Indian Center, executive chef Vernon Defoe and team serve up incredible indigenous flavors. Gatherings Cafe has amazing bison tacos featuring lean protein from native wise, corn tortillas, and homemade sides. It's fresh, local food rooted in ancestral knowledge. Stop by for breakfast or lunch. That's Gatherings Cafe, where tradition meets innovation.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 35, then Thursday, sunshine with a high of 53. There's something for everybody at Cafe Latte in St. Paul, from award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, and desserts to treats from the bakery made fresh daily and a pizza and wine bar. Cafe Latte is located on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria Street. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert Pilot, and we are with our friend Dr. Statley, CEO and president of Native American Community Clinic here in the Twin Cities, Minnesota. Minneapolis, new building coming up, a lot of things happening. Really interesting to hear your background, and I appreciate you talking about that, because it, we talk to our young ones that it's not a straight trajectory. There's a lot of peaks and valleys and things like that, and I imagine too, especially with the Gen Zs and younger people, it's even going to be more of zigzag.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's like, I think, I'm in the process right now of trying to launch my 18-year-olds. They're going to be 19 here in a month, and I was just talking to somebody the other day about this. I was like, launching my 18-year-olds into into adult life, just getting them to a little place where they can do a little bit of adulting is like harder. It is literally has been one of the most hardest parts of my, one of my hardest jobs. I was joking and telling somebody, I was like, this feels harder than actually raising the money for that building. Because I got to a point where the building was this project, and it became like, it gained some momentum, right? And it just sort of started kind of like just getting a lot of attention, and that brought the resources, right? And everybody wanted to be part of that process. But trying to get my kids off the couch and out the door and doing something like outside of like their, that doesn't involve being on social media all day or being on the game system or watching TV or just, laying like lettuce on the couch. It's like, it's been like a challenge.
It's interesting though, and you got to really take a deep breath, because it's been the upside down world for these young ones for the last 10 years. I can't even imagine being brought up that way. I mean, we had the Vietnam War as younger people, but we weren't old enough to get drafted. But then, Reagan became president, and all heck was breaking loose.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff, but
nothing like we're going through now. My son was working on our project for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then the ice surge happened, and Renee Good was killed on January 7th, which is a Wednesday. And then the next couple days, they were out here on Franklin Avenue pulling people, out of their cars and off the street, and just taking people's indigenous, their tribal IDs and like ripping them in half and throwing them on the street, and just people just, and I was like, and my son, who was working in the project and could see all that activity happening across from us, and he came over to my office, and then came over for lunch, and then didn't go back after lunch. And then after that, he didn't want to go back for a while I was anxious about like the whole ice activity and the surge, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, just take a couple of weeks and 2 or 3 weeks and just kind of take a rest and see what happens. And then after that, he didn't want to come back at all. And he was like, that's not what I want to do. And and so, I was just thinking about like, I was trying to compare that to sort of some of the things that I was going through when I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. And certainly there was a lot of, those things happening too. Nothing on that scale though, right? And also, the Twin Cities here in the 70s and early 80s was just a different, we were certainly fighting a lot of the same kinds of structural things, structural racism, bigotry, police violence, those kinds of things, but it looked differently, right? And and our community also wasn't struggling with some of these other conditions. And so part of that was, I realized this, like, and at one point in time, my sons overheard me talking to somebody on the phone. And I said, like, I can't imagine being a young person. And I don't think I would have, I don't know that if I was the young person I was back in 1976, 77, 78, that I would have the skills or the capacity to sort of manage what was going on right now. It's kind of hard for me to imagine doing that. And so I was saying to them, like, I think that they have it harder than us in so many ways. They have it harder.
Oh, I know I didn't have the skills. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh,
to deal
no,
with what
gosh,
they're dealing with now. Not at all. We were still like, still watching reruns to Leave It to Beaver, and F Troop and all those racist shows,
Leave It to Beaver. I actually watched that a couple weeks ago. I don't know why. I saw it come across one of my streaming things, and I was like, oh, I've seen the old Beaver in quite a while. I'm going to watch that. I was laughing. I was like, I can't believe I spent all the hours of my early life I spent wasted on that ridiculous show.
Or
I can't ever get those back.
Wendy, I take a long walk when we're in New York City. We walk everywhere, and then the next day we're old people, so we have to, rest and
sleep for a day.
I've watched Time Tunnel and outer space, and of course the Twilight Zone. But Time Tunnel, that was a go-to.
Oh my Lord, yeah. I probably waste too much of my time when I get home from work and my brain's fried. I just watch ridiculous. I stream ridiculous shows. Like I was at work a couple weeks ago, and people were talking about all the things they've been streaming and talking about really interesting things. I was like, they're like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, I'm on season 7 of Virgin River. They're like, "What's that?" I said, "Dribble," but it's like
well,
I don't have to do a lot of thinking.
Our friend Arvina Martin, we talk about our mental health, and sometimes what she needs to do at night is watch the Golden Girls. And you know what? That show still holds up to this day.
I know. Yeah, I do. Like sometimes I watch a Golden Girls episode, or my partner likes to watch Archie Bunker,
All in the Family.
All in the Family. And oh my God, I got to tell you, like sometimes I'm like, okay, I can take 2 episodes. Okay, I can take 2 episodes, and after that, I gotta either use your earbuds or go somewhere else because I just cannot.
Well,
I was like, he's basically in the White House now.
Exactly. And I don't know. I think Archie might have had a few more brain cells than what's happening right now, because this is totally ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, and he also had Edith, who was lovely. Melania Trump isn't all that interesting. So.
Wow, we're really regressing.
I know we're just being terrible human beings. I'm so sorry. Anyway.
No. This is good radio. Everybody loves to hear you. So, when has the date changed to the opening of the new clinic? I mean, that's just a massive place. It's going to be just a go-to place.
No, it hasn't changed. I mean, we don't have an actual date yet established. We expect it to open the first week in September because we're ahead of schedule for some things. We're gonna have one of our first. So we haven't even announced this yet, but we're planning now to have like a hard hat tour with some dignitaries and officials, government officials, and some people who invested in the in the building. They get to see, because now we're not just like a core and a shell. Now the housing has walls, it has doors, it's got some things in it already now, so they look like actual apartments. And then we also have a lot of the structural stuff going in, in the clinic part of it. Like you can walk through the clinic and see like, oh, this is, these are the walls, and this is where the dental clinic's gonna be. Oh, this is, it's, there's a lot to still do internally for the finishing for it to be ready. But, you structurally can start to see everything, which is a lot different than the last time we took a tour of it, which was just, it was just the outside of the building and the big, huge open space inside. So then we're going to do that sometime this next month, and then, do a couple of other events, but we won't have an opening for the community until sometime in the fall.
So we got Indian month coming here, and I can't believe it's a couple days. The first is Friday. What is the clinic got cooking? Do we have anything going on, or are you guys just really balls to the walls with the new building?
We're just like we didn't have an open house event last year either, because we usually have that event in our parking lot, and so we haven't had a parking lot because we're building a building in it, and we're still not in a place where we can do that. We will do something in the fall. We have a fall event called the Fall Harvest Fest, where we sort of like harvest and get all of our traditional plant medicines that we grow locally here. We won't have any of those this year that we grew because we don't have a site to grow them on, but we will still have some medicines that we have for the community. Dream of Wild Health will provide some fresh vegetables and food for the community, and they're one of the partners that have been part of that Harvest Fest every single year. They'll be the only one that's there because we won't have the space to host all the other like 15-20 people who participate usually in that, because we'll still be building the parking lot then, and so we're going to tear down this existing building after the new one opens, but it takes about 6 weeks to build the parking lot, which we want to get accomplished before the winter. And so we'll do something like that, and then I think we're planning to do things like have small tours for groups of 20 or 25 people. Like each department might take a little bit of a part of a day to sort of give people tours of their department. In the first couple of weeks of like moving in there, we'll see some patients. We expect it to be challenging for patients to get here. We're trying to figure out some things for helping patients to sort of navigate like limited access to the back part of the thing, because we'll be building the parking lot. So we just have some strategies coming up on that, but we're going to do things like, give people, our staff are going to have to learn how to navigate that space. It's twice as big as we are now, right? So, so like, you're going to get lost in closets and hallways and stuff. So they have to find some. So it's just kind of like that first couple of weeks is going to be like, it's just navigating. So
I can't wait. Dr. Statley, thanks for coming on. I know this isn't normally your day, and I appreciate you stopping in for a couple segments and, reminiscing about the circle and also the future with Native American Community Clinic.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it. It's always good to spend time with you.
Right on. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, wow. We'll be right back. Native Roots Radio.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas offers an affordable 2-year associate degree with a seamless path to a bachelor's. Located in downtown Minneapolis, students receive free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaching, tutoring, a Metro Transit pass, mentorship, and paid internships, all at Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College. Your journey to success starts here.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot. For Native relatives, healing is more than just sobriety. It's reclaiming Indigenous masculinity as a sacred, balanced force. Join Hunter Thundercloud for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. We explore how personal recovery uplifts our communities. It's time men step back into roles as mentors and spiritual leaders. Recovery is collective, and it starts with us. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m. for Native Roots Radio presents Controlled Fire. Let's tend the fire together. Support comes from the Walker Arts Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap of Birds from the Cheyenne and Arapaho nations, and Jim Demeny from the Ojibwe Nation. Additionally, film screens, cinema, and performances are shown on stage. And the Walker is free every Thursday night and free every day for citizens and members of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org.
Located just north of 50th in France, the Great Wall Restaurant has provided a delicious taste of authentic Chinese cuisine since 1981. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking dishes, they offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include hot and sour soup, pan-fried dumplings, and mushu pork with homemade Chinese pancakes. Stop by their Edina location or call for takeout at 952-927-4439. See the full menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
You're listening to Native Roots Radio. I'm Bobby Wilson. Witcha.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Hey, we are with our friend Natalie. And Natalie, do you want to introduce yourself? Hoa.
Yeah, of course, Robert. So, Buju, Natalie Indigena Kaz, Jawanang Anakwaduk Indigo, Gichi Onagaming Indon Jaba. I think that's all. I'm trying to remember all of my Ojibwe introductions. I've been taking an Ojibwe class this semester, so we're recording early because of that. And so Robert is awesome and put me on the spot and having me introduce myself on Ojibwe. So
that's right. Hey, that's good too. And it's fun too because it's the magic of radio. Nobody knows we're recording this. So,
that's true. Oh, shoot. I just gave the secret away.
Yes. No, but it's good to get in touch with you because you are busy. And I always ask you to come on your busy day, which is, I don't know, I guess I'm consistent. You can say that, but a lot going on. Let's get to it, Natalie, and talk a little bit about Minneapolis American Indian Center, where you work in your Grand Portage Ojibwe.
Yeah, that's what I forgot in my introduction. Yeah, Grand Portage Ojibwe, and I'm at the Minneapolis American Indian Center, and we have our big American Indian Month kickoff powwow this Friday, May 1st. So there'll be the parade over at Cedar Field, over at Little Earth. That'll kick things off at 10 a.m. And the parade will be through the neighborhood, and it'll end there. There'll be lunch provided. But then that night, we're having a big party over here at the Indian Center. So doors open at 4. We'll have food trucks in the parking lot. Gatherings Cafe is open till 8, which I'm really excited about. They're having a special menu with bison hot dogs, and barbecue turkey sliders, and bison kebabs. So, yeah, we're getting real fun with it, and we're open late. Cafe's open till 8. And then we also got our Boys and Girls Club doing concessions. So they're selling regular hot dogs and chips and all the usual stuff. But yeah, doors open at 4. Got our open house, and then grand entry for our powwows at 6. So it'll be a really fun start to American Indian Month here in the community.
Yeah, right on. And talk a little bit about where we are. We're in Minneapolis, and the Native corridor on Franklin Avenue that has so much rich history. It's fun. I was there today, and just seeing all the people that come in and out of there. It's always the who's who of what's happening. And talk a little bit about what else goes on there, because we do touch base every couple of weeks, but I think I always have new listeners, so it's good to recap what 50 years of serving the community in Minneapolis American Indian Center.
Yeah, so the Minneapolis American Indian Center, we're right on Franklin Avenue, which is considered the American Indian Cultural Corridor here in South Minneapolis. The whole avenue is full of Native orgs and businesses, and It's really just a hub of art and activity and community. And as you said, I mean, it's the place to be. If like you and I were chatting and people kept walking by earlier, it's the place that, I don't know, it's where you run into people, our big reunion spot. But yeah, we've been here for 50 years right here on the Ave. And we provide a bunch of different services like social services, education, employment, elder support. We've got youth programming. We have an art gallery, Gatherings Cafe, which serves indigenous food. Just a whole bunch of different things that we do. And if we don't have the services that someone needs, it's like we can direct people with where to go. So we're really kind of the heart of the community. And when people move here, especially from reservations and stuff, and they're new to the city, this is where you come to figure out where you can get resources, where you can connect, where you can find community. And we're really here to help direct people with where to go. And even if you're not Native, I mean, we're a hub of culture and we're open to anybody. So if anyone's curious and has never been to a powwow before, our powwows are open to anyone. We ask that people be respectful and, you know, ask before taking pictures and really show up in a good way. But you know, vendors open to anybody, buy merch, support Native businesses, support our restaurant, try bison, try wild rice. Yeah, we're really just a place to come and connect and learn about, engage with our culture and be in community together. So yeah, we're located 1530 East Franklin Avenue, if anyone hasn't been before.
Yeah, it's really cool. People come in and fly in and out of there. You know, they do things. There's rooms to really professional rooms upstairs and downstairs to rent. I know, you know, you have things happening at night. We didn't touch on the workout center, but I mean, I've been there witnessing pickleball, and you know, the youth will be learning drum and dance and things like that, and a lot going on. So come in, and you know, I know in the Twin Cities, especially Minneapolis, that there's 75,000 Native Americans in the city, and over 111 different tribes. So come on in and find out where your people are. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's definitely the place to be. And yeah, I think it's amazing just how many people are here. I mean, this Friday for the powwow, there'll be at least 1,000. Like we usually get really good turnout. So
yeah, well, I'm excited to kick off Native American month here in Minnesota. There's other things going on, but again, just lightly talk about and how people can find out about the schedule at the American Indian Center, Minneapolis American Indian Center on Franklin Avenue. I know you have something to do with the updates, so tell people where they can get these updates.
yeah, so every day we got a ton of stuff happening. It's actually, my job's really fun trying to keep up with everything because we just have so much going on. But every Monday we post a schedule on our Facebook and our Instagram. So Minneapolis American Indian Center. We also have a calendar on our website, maicnet.org. But I think social media is probably the best place to go just because we have so many external groups that come in. We rent out our spaces. So if anyone wants to have a meeting in the Native community, wants to have an event, wants to reach people here on the Ave, we're a great space to do it. And so every day we'll have our own programming going on. We have our fitness center. We have sports and activities, like you said, Robert, pickleball and basketball. But we'll also have groups come in. I know Metro Transit was getting feedback. They're doing a big renovation on the light rail station over here. So they've been having meetings here at the center just to reach community members and get feedback on what people are looking for and how the light rail station can better serve the people here utilizing it. So yeah, lots of different stuff going on. Every day looks completely different. It's never boring, but yeah, I'd recommend checking out our social media just to keep updated on what's happening each week.
Absolutely. Hey, we got about a minute left. I want to quiz you on what famous celebrity since the reopening have you seen show up at the Indian Center?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. We had Adam Beach, Smoke Signals was here. We had Bobby Wilson. He did your show when he was here for our 50th anniversary gala. Dallas Goldtooth comes by every once in a while when he's in town. Who else have I seen?
Gee.
Yeah, it's like the place to be. I think we had one of my newsletters that we sent out like a couple months ago was like, here's all the celebrities who visited the Indian Center in the last month. And it was pretty good. We've had a lot of people stop by. So you never know who you're going to see when you're at the Indian Center.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I stopped in today and had some awesome food at the gatherings. I had the soup, the bison soup, and a vegetable bison soup, and then I also have my standard my walleye sandwich with chips and a little salsa. So I was all set.
We're getting close to dinner time. I'm like getting hungry just hearing you talk about it.
Well, you were talking about those bison hot dogs. I'm gonna have to check that out. One more time, how people can find out about you and what's going on at the Indian Center. Hoa.
Yeah, follow the Minneapolis American Indian Center on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we also have a website, maicnet.org. So yeah, give us a follow and see what's going on here.
Wow, Natalie, thanks for stopping in live on Native Roots Radio. Just kidding.
Thanks for having me, Robert.
Right on. Hey, we'll see you soon. Hey, if you're listening to the show, you are part of the resistance from Chief Plenty Coops, the ground on which we stand on. It's sacred ground. It's the blood of our ancestors. We need to resist, divest, join a group, run for office, and vote. Hey, and go.
The city of Minneapolis is now on